Hello YouTube, I'm your Huckleberry, and this is the Reate Valhalla. Holla holla if you hear me. Let's get into some specs. We are looking at 8.6 inches in overall length with a 3.8 inch blade length, so not a small knife. We're looking at a 0.16 inch, 0.16, that's right, 0.16 inch blade thickness. It comes with RWL 34 steel, which with everything that I've read about RWL 34 steel, says that that is very comparable to CPM 154 steel. So if you have a knife with CPM 154 steel, this is probably going to be pretty comparable in performance to that. It is a clip point style blade or buoy, whatever you want to call that. It does have a flat grind with a nice satin finish, which I really like. I like the two-tone here, the kind of two different dual finish here with kind of the more polished satin finish up top, and then they kind of just left the striations there for that kind of satin finish on the blade itself there. And it does also have a swedge, as I'm sure you can tell. This is titanium handles here, and it is a frame lock. And the handles, of course, have a stone wash finish, as you could tell there. Titanium clip as well. The clip is situated for right hand tip-up carry only. So lefties, you're left out. Sorry. Let's get a weight. Let's get a weight on this guy. See what we can come up with here with the AccuWeight scale. All right, and 4.6, which I know is not right. I know 4.6 is not right. It may be time for a new scale, guys. Here we go. 6.3, which is right. 6.3 ounces there, which I know to be right. So, and because you could just put this in your hand and know that that is not a 4-ounce knife whatsoever. That's definitely a 6-ounce knife. Let's look at size comparisons. Let's take a look there. Okay, here it is against a Kershaw Mini Natrix in copper. And so definitely a lot smaller there with the Kershaw Mini Natrix. Let's look at it against an industry standard in the Spyderco PM2. Now that's definitely much more comparable in size, but as you can tell, the Valhalla is definitely larger than the PM2. How about another industry standard in the large Griptilian, Benchmade large Griptilian? Again, the Griptilian is going to be smaller, and it's definitely with the FRN handles here, it's definitely going to be less in weight. All right, how about a Kershaw Leak? Let's look at it against the Kershaw Leak. Again, definitely, and it's kind of hard to line them up just perfectly because of the way this goes down like that. But, I mean, you can tell just by looking here, the Kershaw Leak is definitely smaller than the Valhalla. And how about something that it's actually going to be very close to my favorite knife of all time? The CRK Chris Reeve Knives Large Sabenza 21. And that is probably going to be the closest in size that I have. That right there. But okay, there's you some size comparisons. And now let's talk about the good and the bad here, what I like and dislike when it comes to the Reate Valhalla. The first thing I like is I do like the name, Valhalla. That's kind of a cool name. I watched a show on History Channel called Vikings. And of course, Valhalla is Viking heaven, essentially. That's where they all want to go when they die. If they've lived a good life and conquered many lands and plundered many people, things like that, lived a good life, they go to Valhalla. And so that's a cool name. in my opinion. It's got a cool name. The action, as you just saw there, the action on this guy is good. This is probably due to the fact that it does have an MRBS, which is a multi-roll bearing system in it. So there's two rows of tiny little ceramic balls in this pivot here that help that guy fly open like that. It's very smooth. It's got a good action, and it's moving, you know, a pretty good chunk of steel there to get that to fly out. But it's got a good smooth action. You can, you know, shake it shut there. It doesn't take much effort to get that thing to close shut. So very easy to operate one-handed. The fit and finish on it is very, very good, which is what you've come to expect from Reate. This is the first Reate knife that I have shown on the channel. It's not the first Reate knife that I've ever owned. It's the only one that I have right now. But I've owned other Reate knives before, and all of them have been top-notch fit and finish. They are a little bit higher in price. You're looking at about $280 for this one. So, and most of them are going to be in that range or higher even, you know, kind of the $250 and up range. But you get good materials, and you get the good action with the multi-roll bearings there. And you're getting really good fit and finish. They all have good fit and finish. It feels really good in hand. There are no hot spots in my extra large mitts here. And as you can see, I've got plenty of room with my extra large hands, no matter how I hold it. Here it is in reverse grip. I never show reverse grip because, I mean, reverse grip, I just don't use it a lot. It's more of a fighting grip. I mean, you can use it for other things, of course, but when most people see you hold a knife like this, they think you're getting ready for a fight. So, and I'm not a knife fighter, but it's got more utilitarian uses as well, but that's why I never show reverse grip. But it doesn't matter how I hold it, it feels good. No hot spots, no sharp corners on it anywhere, not even on that blade. The only sharp part about this knife is the edge, as it should be. It's got really good ergonomics, as I was kind of talking about there as well. Feels great in my extra large hands. Now, for someone with smaller hands, say medium or smaller hands, it might not feel as good in your hand because it's a large knife. This is a large knife. It does have a steel lock bar insert. You can kind of see there. It's got that. Let me get the light out here, the flashlight. Okay, there we go. Get the brightness up. Let me see. So yeah, you can. I'm just kind of flooding it, aren't I? Oh, there you go. There you go. You can see the steel lock bar insert there, which also serves. It's got an area there out to the side that also serves as a over travel stop, which is good. I like seeing that on knives. I like seeing now. The thing about a steel lock bar insert, right, is really what it is for is to prevent, because titanium being a softer metal than stainless steel, than this stainless steel here, over time of opening it like that and closing it, it will eventually wear down. Now, none of us will probably ever own a knife long enough and open it enough times to where it actually wears down. But the main thing that it prevents, the more practical thing that it prevents, in my estimation, is it prevents lock stick. Because a lot of times when you have just a titanium frame lock on stainless steel and it's contacting that stainless steel, a lot of times you do get lock stick. And the steel on steel really helps prevent that. So I think that's the more practical use for a lock bar insert. Plus, there you go, you can see right there, that it does also serve as an over travel stop, which is really useful. So you don't ever hyperextend this lock bar too far out, and then your knife is no longer very useful because it won't lock. I really like the handle finish. I like the stone wash handle finish of this knife because it's just this, to me, the finishes on this knife say to me working knife. These are working finishes. You have the stone wash titanium, which already looks kind of beat up. That's the way it's supposed to look. And so titanium, of course, will, there it is, the Sabenza. As you can see there, it will snail trail on you. It will get marked up on you, which I always kind of like, but some people don't. But when you have a finish like this, it's kind of pre-done for you, so you don't have to worry about it. It's good to go. There's not, the wear and tear on the blade is not really going to show either, maybe on this polished part a little bit, but I mean, that's not a big deal. For the most part, the main part of the knife that you will be using is not going to show too much wear and tear there, so I like that. It has jimping, and the jimping it's good enough not to call it bad, but it's not the best jimping in the world, but it's functional. It works. It works. I can dig in there pretty good, and I'm pretty confident my thumb's not going to go anywhere. So it works. The hand, I like the cutouts. Sorry, I was looking at my notes there, guys. The cutouts. I like that a lot. That it adds a little bit something instead of, they do sell some that have just a slab without this cutout, which is okay. It's fine, but I think this makes it a little more interesting, gives it a little design and a little more weight reduction. On the inside here, you can kind of see there. Let's get the flashlight again. Let's come from the underneath side. I think it works better, maybe not. Yes. So you can see there that the inside of the titanium has been milled out some as well, which also helps with weight. Now, this being a over 6 ounce knife anyway, which to me is, we're getting up into heavy. That's good that it has that weight reduction, because if it did not, it would be really heavy. I have a feeling. So I also like this pivot design. It's something a little bit different. It's not just a plain, it's not much, no, but it's not also just a plain pivot. It's got a little bit of a design there, which I like a lot. So I like that they did something a little bit interesting there with that pivot design. And of course, I do like that the lock access is nice and easy. It is no problem to access that lock. I'm not having to dig my thumb in there. It locks and unlocks very easily. So that's what I really like about this knife. Now, some of the bad, and this is always subjective, but it's big. And so that can be a negative for some people. This is bigger than what I typically like to carry. I usually do not like to go over the 3.5 inch mark in blade length very much, just for practical. One, I don't generally need it. And two, when you start, I have found personally, once you start getting kind of over the 3.5 inch mark, you start getting into making people nervous when you pull out your knife, especially, and this is kind of the second thing that's negative about this, when you have a more aggressive looking knife, a more aggressive blade shape. The Bowie clip point style blade shape is always going to be more aggressive because it was originally designed to be for a fighting knife. Jim Bowie, I'm from Texas, and so we learn about Texas history and all that in school. And Jim Bowie, which is the namesake of the Bowie knife, he was a knife fighter, a very good one from legend, from history. He was a very good knife fighter, and he carried a clip point style blade because it was really good at stabbing people. It was good at being stabby, and he was good at knife fighting. And so this was designed, the clip point style blade was designed as a fighting style blade. And when you put it, now, are all clip points aggressive and scary? No. I don't think anyone, except the most scared of people, would call this an aggressive or scary knife, the Best Tech engine here, because it's small. And it's got the same kind of Bowie. In fact, it may even have really a more aggressive Bowie style blade, but because of its size, it's not aggressive or scary. When you start getting into bigger knives with a clip point blade, and then you start making people nervous. And look, we know as knife guys that knives are tools. We know that. They're not scary weapons. They're tools. But for the uninitiated and the people who like to live their life scared, any knife may be a scary weapon, even this guy. But this one is definitely going to be that. And look, the fact of the matter is, should we have to adjust our lifestyle to fit their lifestyle? No. But let's just be real, right? Let's have a real honest discussion here. You didn't think this was going to turn into that, did you? But let's have a real honest discussion here. It's just going to make your life easier and be easier for everybody if you just, if you live around people or work in an office environment where you know that there are people who like to live their life scared, that maybe you don't carry a knife like this. Should you have to? No. In a perfect world, you would be able to carry whatever knife that you wanted to, and people would just go about and mind their own dang business. But that's not the world we live in. And so in order to make your life easier, it may just be better if you don't carry a knife like this, if you know that there are what they call sheeple, people who live their life scared around you. Okay, enough of that, right? enough of that. We're here to talk about knives. But that's kind of one of the cons. It is big and it has an aggressive kind of look to it. So that can be a negative. Another negative that I found is this pocket clip. Boy, I hate this pocket clip. I do not like it. I like the way it looks. It looks good. It matches the rest of the knife. It's canted well, but it is hard. I have found it hard. I wear jeans most of the time. I wear jeans probably 90% of the time. And this was hard. And I wore several pairs of jeans while carrying this knife, and it was hard. It didn't matter, different kinds, different brands, and all that. It was hard to get them out of any of them because the pocket clip tension is just too heavy. It's just too much. And it was hard to get this in and out of the pocket because of this pocket clip. And so that to me is a big negative. I do not like that pocket clip at all. That to me is the biggest negative of this whole knife, quite honestly, is the pocket clip. It made it to where I did not want to carry it because I knew I was going to struggle getting this in and out of my pocket because that clip is just not, it's just the tension on it is too much and it doesn't have enough of a ramp, and it made it almost uncarryable for me because of this stupid pocket clip. Other than that, it's a fantastic knife, besides it being a little bit big and aggressive. But if that's your thing, rock on. So, I didn't have a problem carrying this knife at my work. But that's because people know me. It's a smaller work environment, fewer people, and they all know me very well. So they don't have, they don't worry. They know I'm going to be carrying some crazy knives sometimes, and it doesn't bother them anymore because they know me. But that pocket clip just made it really hard to carry. That, and it is right hand only, which I always like the option for left-handed carry for the lefties out there, but anyway, it's right hand only. But other than the big kind of aggressive nature of the knife as a whole, and that stupid pocket clip, which it does make this a deal breaker for me. I won't, this knife will be moving on. One, just because I need to get more knives into review, and two, that pocket clip made it a deal breaker for me. I do not like that pocket clip. Besides that, the fit and finish, ergos, everything else about this knife is 100% good to go. So if this is your style of knife and you don't mind a pocket clip with insufferable tension, then this may be the knife for you. But if you have some of those concerns about the big aggressive nature of it or the pocket clip, maybe spend your $280 elsewhere. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I love interacting with you guys and answering all of your questions or just chatting with you about knives or whatever else. Please like if you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, feel free to dislike if you did not enjoy it. But whatever you do, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell in order to be notified each and every time that I release a video. I'm really trying to start to get into a rhythm of releasing a video every Tuesday and Friday so that you're getting 2 videos a week. One to kind of get you through the week, and then one to get you into the weekend is kind of my thought process behind that. But that's going to kind of be my schedule for the foreseeable future. Every Tuesday and Friday, I'll be releasing a video, so you can hit that notification bell and be notified when it releases. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.